All right, we got about 18 hours to delivery, and I'm only about 30 minutes away. It came from Chicago all the way down to the Oklahoma border. So I have been figuring backstabbing has been going on throughout my family. So I figured I'm going to make a video here and post this video. And I remember when I worked in a warehouse, and I remember this old guy. He always used to tell me, stand up for yourself, for Christ's sake. You know, don't let people take advantage of you. And that's exactly what this whole topic is going to be about. You know, I had a dog pass away from a malpractice. The vet didn't tell us a lot what was going on. And then we had another dog that came down with a spine disease called DM. And so we found that out after we switched vets, after one dog passed away. And I was talking to an animal attorney, and she goes, well, the only thing I can recommend right now is, because I'm really busy, is exploit them. And that's what I did. And every once in a while, I'll get a load up in the Chicagoland area. And I'm not going to say the name of the vet, because on all technicality, legally, I can't. I already signed paperwork. But and I got a check. But whenever I go past that vet, because I exploited them, they used to be busy. Now, there's only 2 or 3 cars in the parking lot. I mean, there used to be 15 to 20 cars. You couldn't find a parking spot at that place. And a couple times, me and my mom, I think, had to park off on a side street, if I remember right. So, I was talking to my attorney in Florida, because I actually technically, as an over-the-road driver right now, I have 3 addresses in 3 different states. But my primary is Florida, and where I have my attorney is in Pensacola. So I was talking to him, and he goes, well, since you're an over-the-road driver right now, the only thing I can tell you to do is exploit this. And so that's pretty much what I'm doing. So my mom, you know, in another story that I posted about a week or 2 ago, went all against me. And basically, I agreed for the house to be put on the market. I had Florida on my mind. I can't stand living in a Democrat place. I wanted to go to a Republican place. And I got problems with my joints, my hands, my knees, and that's all from railway work and tow trucks. You know, kneeling down, doing tire changes, walking through waist-high snow to go through a switch on a railway, you know, stuff like that. And then laying down, you know, with certain cars, you have to lay down on the ground to find your T-hook holes, and it's, you know, below zero. So I have a lot of problems with my joints. So automatically, Florida was automatically on my mind. And then on top of that, I have a lot of family that was in Florida. So when it came time, and me and my mom were on probably one of our last outings together, we went to my employer, which was a grocery store, but also had a restaurant in it. And also had a bar just as well. And the bar had like 7 or 8, maybe 9 video cameras. And that's all because it was the bar. But the whole entire store has got video cameras. I mean, be careful where you pick your nose, because there's actually video cameras on the highway. So, when we're having lunch, we were going to go shopping just as well. And the realtor calls my mom. And my mom goes, well, I'm out. I'm shopping. And I'm having lunch with my son. And I'm not going to say the guy got really loud, but he got nasty. And he did get a little voicey. You know, I'm not going to say he was yelling, but he got a little loud. I got a little ticked off. And I almost grabbed the phone out of my mom's hands. And I kind of wish I did at this point, because I probably would have told him where to stick it. At that particular time, I was an alcoholic. And it wasn't just because of what my mom was doing to me. It was a whole bunch of other things I was going through in my life. And unfortunately, I turned to alcohol. So my mind wasn't all there at that particular point. So I emailed this real estate agent, which is named Peter Steele, with the Great Western Properties, and I asked him for an apology. And I got this smart aleck comment. So I started getting smart with them. And then they called my sister and brother-in-law because this Peter Steele guy is friends with my brother-in-law, and they make up some story that, oh, I'm not going to leave the house. They're going to have to do this and that. So the real estate agency and Peter Steele threatens to call the cops on me. I was more than happy to leave. And then on top of that, with my mom's scam of promising me that $10,000, you know, like I said, I inherited $75,000 from my grandparents way back in 2002. And if I would have known what I know now, like I said, I never would have gave my mom half. And I never would have been paying my mom from the time my dad died in 2001 all the way up to the point when we parted ways in 2022. I never would have gave her a dime. But this Peter Steele guy, he thinks he did nothing wrong. And this Great Western Properties, I have no idea. They think this guy is a legend for some ungodly reason. So I was talking to my attorney 3 days ago. No, what was it? Last Friday, I think it was. He goes, dude, he goes, just exploit him. And, you know, at this point in time, I don't have time to go to court. I'm an over-the-road truck driver. I don't have time to play games. And like he was saying, he goes, you did it to a vet. Now it's time to do it to this real estate agency. And, you know, I hate to do it this way, but I have the actual audio of him getting loud with my mom. And I actually have a video, too. So when they threatened to call the cops on me, I think it was on a Wednesday. I had Wednesdays off. I had Wednesdays and Saturdays off from Caputo's. So I went into work. That was a Wednesday afternoon, I believe. Thursday, when I went into work, manager asked me, what's wrong? And I said, oh, man, you know, I told him what happened. A real estate agent threatened to call the cops. And I was telling him the story. He goes, dude, we got video cameras all over the place. He goes, let's see. Give me a day or two. We're going to see if we can find this actual footage. They knew my mom. They knew me because we shopped there every other Friday. They didn't know my mom personally, but they knew what she looked like. So they went through everything and took them. They must have went through like 12 hours of video. They found it. And I got a copy of it. It's in my Rubbermaid in my truck here. I actually have the video and audio, which if I do make it home, because right now I'm on the Kansas-Oklahoma border, if I do make it to Pensacola, I can use my desktop computer and I can download it onto my phone and then download it to YouTube. And I'm going to start doing this Great Western Properties. I'm going to start putting them all over the internet. You know, that was the last meal, not the last meal, but the last time I would be able to go out with my mom. Me and my mom don't talk to each other anymore. But the fact of the matter is that they call my brother-in-law and sister. What the hell is that? I mean, excuse my language, but why would you do that? And then they make up some bullcrap story. And then the real estate agent's like, oh, we're going to call the cops. Go ahead and call the cops. They ain't going to do nothing. And now I got all the proof. So I don't know. I have a request to go to Florida. I just don't know when I'm going to get there because I can request all day long that I want to go to Michigan to, you know, well, the terminal is out of Michigan. But I can request all day long that I need a load going to Detroit so I can go to my USPS box. But I mean, I may get it in a day. It may be 3 weeks later. I don't know when I'm going. But I figure I'm going to start posting this because this real estate agency, they think they did nothing wrong. And, you know, I asked for a little bit of a settlement. And that settlement I don't even want. I just want to go to a VA hospital. Because my dad, if my dad was still living, he wouldn't put up with that. He wouldn't have put up with that at the moment that happened. He would have blown his top. We're a close-knit family. At least we were. My dad, my mom, me, and then my sister, she was kind of like always out there. But we were a very close-knit family. I'd do anything for my dad. And at that point in time, I would do anything for my mom. But to hear somebody talk like that to your family member that you actually thought of really greatly back then, and to hear that, that's still stuck in my mind. And I will exploit Great Western Properties and Peter Steele all over the web, starting with YouTube. And then I'm going to go down to Facebook. And I'm going to put the pinch on them just like I did with the vet. The vet, it's amazing. I was researching that vet. And once again, I can't say the name because I signed paperwork. But they're actually going through a bankruptcy right now. And it was really funny. When I started leaving remarks about the vet, there was more people out there who had problems that were afraid to, because the vet was doing the same thing that the real estate agency company was doing to me. They actually had the cops come to my house when I was living in Illinois, the vet. And I think that's what happened to some of the other people. I actually contacted an old lady. She was in her 80s, 70s. She had a border collie, went through almost the same identical thing. And I remember we were emailing each other back and forth. And then eventually we called each other. We were talking about that. And she goes, yeah, they had the cops show up at my house. And, for what? For what? You got all the proof. I have all my proof. I had all my proof with the vet. I have all my proof with this real estate company. So I don't understand where this cop deal comes in. What is that supposed to intimidate me? I have no idea. But I'm busy. I could be in New York one day. I could be in California 2 days later. I don't know where I'm going to be, day after day. And that's one of the points that my lawyer, made. He goes, well, you're going to take at least 2 weeks off if you want to get a lawsuit going. And it may actually come down to that. I don't know yet. It may actually come down to that. But legally, my attorney gave me permission, and actually the state of Florida actually gave me permission as well to exploit this company. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you right now, if you live in the Chicagoland area, the Chicago suburbs, stay away from Great Western Properties. And if you ever hear the name Peter Steele, don't do it. Don't do it. One of the biggest things, it's not only the incident with my mom, but one of the biggest things is, why the hell would you call my sister and brother-in-law? Why? They know nothing about me. I was a millionaire investor. I had BNSF Class A shares. I had 7 of those. I had 2 in Dairy Queen. I had Commonwealth Edison, which was Exelon, that I inherited through my grandparents. That was about $38,000 worth, and I've been adding to that for about 20 some odd years. My dividends were equal to most people's paychecks. But that's not the point. The point is I've been through all my life trying to treat people with respect, and you get people out who can walk all over you. They think they can, and they think they can control you, and they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. And if I got to bring my brother-in-law and sister into this, I'm going to just as well too. I want to keep them out of here. I want to keep them out of this because it's between me, my mom, Peter Steele, and Great Western Properties. But if somebody was asking me a question and it would be about my sister, I don't know nothing. I don't speak English. I wouldn't say nothing. If somebody asked me something about my uncle, as much as I know about my aunts and uncles, I wouldn't say nothing because that's not my place. You don't say nothing if you don't know anything. You don't want to get that person into, you don't want to be spreading bull crap is what I'm trying to say. Because of this incident, 80% of my family will not talk to me anymore. A lot of cousins I was really close with had the same hobbies, same interest and all that. But I'm, because of this, the incident with my mom, and now with all the family members not talking to me because of this, because of my sister and brother-in-law spreading, I'm thinking they're spreading this bullcrap. I know my mom's spreading this bullcrap. But I want something from Great Western Properties. I want some sort of settlement, but I don't want it in my hands. I want it to go to the Veterans Hospital, the VA hospital in Broadview, because that's where my dad went. My dad was a vet. And the way that dude talked to my mom, I think he should at least send a $3,000 check to somebody who's in need that needs medical attention for 1 week at the VA hospital. And like I said, I'm going to exploit this. And there's nothing they can do about it because actually my Rubbermaid below my bed here, I actually have the audio and the video, and I will be downloading it. But anyways, I'm going to cut this short. The moral of the story is don't let people walk all over you. Don't let people take advantage of you, and stand up for yourself. I wish I would have stood up for myself back then, but like I said, I was an alcoholic. I never would have expected myself to be an alcoholic, and it just wound up to be that way. There was a lot of reasons why, and I turned to liquor, which I regret. I now regret. Boy, if I wouldn't have been an alcoholic at that point, I would have had this settled in a day or two. But I'm out.